Medieval castles were incredible feats of architecture that have stood the test of time. But did you know that there are some secrets hidden within these ancient structures that have remained undiscovered for centuries? From secret passages to underground tunnels, there are plenty of things to explore in medieval castles. Welcome back, everyone. Here today we're going to take you on a journey through time and reveal the secrets behind medieval castles that will leave you in awe. Don't forget to hit that like button if you love all things history, and check out our other videos after this one. You might learn something new. Let's get started. Number 1. Secret passages. One of the most exciting things about exploring a medieval castle is the possibility of discovering a secret passageway. These hidden corridors were used by royalty and nobility to move around the castle undetected. They were also used to smuggle goods and people into and out of the castle. One of the most famous examples of a secret passageway can be found at Windsor Castle, which was the home of King Henry VIII. The king had a secret passageway built that connected his bedroom to the famous St. George's Chapel. This allowed him to attend church services without having to make the long walk from his chambers. Another example of a secret passageway can be found at Leeds Castle in Kent, England. This particular passageway was used by Queen Elizabeth I to escape from her counselors when she felt like she needed some fresh air. The passageway opened up onto a small balcony overlooking the castle grounds. Number 2. Underground tunnels. In addition to secret passages, many medieval castles also had a network of underground tunnels that were used for everything from storing food to escaping from attackers. These tunnels were typically located beneath the castle's main structure and were often accessible via trapdoors or hidden entrances. At Dover Castle in Kent, England, you can explore a series of tunnels that were used by soldiers during the Second World War. These tunnels were built over the castle's medieval foundations and are now open to the public. Another example of an underground tunnel in a medieval castle can be found at Caerphilly Castle in Wales. These tunnels were used by the castle's defenders to move around the castle without being seen by enemy soldiers. The tunnels also contained a number of hiding places where soldiers could shelter if the castle came under attack. Number 3. Hidden rooms. Hidden rooms are another fascinating feature of many medieval castles. These rooms were often used for storage purposes or as hiding places in times of danger. Some hidden rooms were even used as prisons to hold enemy soldiers or political prisoners. One of the most interesting examples of a hidden room can be found at Hever Castle in Kent, England. This particular room was once used as a hiding place by Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, before she was executed in 1536. Another example of a hidden room can be found at Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. The castle's most famous prisoner, Scottish patriot and national hero, Sir William Wallace, was allegedly held in a small cell known as the Black Douglas Room before he was executed in 1297. Number 4. False walls. These sneaky architectural tricks were used in medieval castles to confuse attackers and keep the inhabitants safe. As the name suggests, these walls appeared to be solid but were actually hollow, concealing a secret passageway or hiding place behind them. One of the best examples of false walls can be found at Framlingham Castle in Suffolk, England. During the English Civil War, the castle was besieged by parliamentarian forces. The royalists who were defending the castle used the false walls to conceal their movements and escape from the enemy. Another example of a false wall can be found at Harlech Castle in Wales. The castle was built in the 13th century and was designed by the English to control the local Welsh population. However, the castle was never captured by the English, and it's believed that the Welsh rebels used the false walls to outsmart their attackers. Number 5. Escape towers. Escape towers, also known as escape hatches, were another clever defensive feature that was sometimes built into medieval castles. These towers were built with a secret passageway that allowed the castle's defenders to escape in the event of an attack. The passageway would lead to a small platform on the outside of the castle wall, allowing the defenders to descend to the ground below. One of the most impressive examples of an escape tower can be found at Conwy Castle in Wales. Built by Edward I in the 13th century, the castle was designed to be the ultimate fortress. However, the castle was never successfully attacked, and it's believed that the escape towers played a part in its invincibility. Another example of an escape tower can be found at Caerphilly Castle in Wales. The castle was attacked several times over the years, but it was never captured. The escape towers were likely used by the castle's defenders to escape from advancing armies. Number 6. The moat. There's no medieval castle exploration without a look at the moat. Most people don't realize just how deep a moat could be. We think of them as a big old puddle, but they were often 15 feet deep. A key purpose of the moat was to stop invaders from breaching the castle walls by having to cross a large body of water. The moat at Penrhyn Castle in North Wales was so wide that boats had to be used to transport people across it. And not all moats were purely defensive. The one at Ashby de la Zove in Leicestershire was used to provide fish for the castle's inhabitants. Still, despite their many purposes, moats were also useful for getting rid of waste. No garbage disposal system in the medieval era meant that human waste and animal excrement had to be disposed of somehow, and the moat was usually the receptacle of choice. While disgusting to us now, the sloshing, stinking water was a useful thing to have around in the medieval era. Number 7. The drawbridge. When we picture a medieval castle, we often imagine a drawbridge. But these marvels of engineering were actually fairly rare. Drawbridges didn't appear until the 18th century. Before then, castles either had no bridge at all, meaning that those entering had to wade through the moat water, or they had a swing bridge. But whoever said that medieval castles weren't high-tech? Number 8. The barbican. When you think of a medieval castle, you probably envision tall stone towers and thick castle walls. But did you know that many castles also had a barbican? A barbican was an imposing structure that was built at the entrance to a castle, consisting of a strong tower or fortified building that was used to defend against attacks. It acted as a first line of defense, helping to protect the castle's main gate and drawbridge. The barbican was also used to house soldiers who would guard the entrance to the castle and repel any attackers. This made it a crucial part of the castle's defenses and helped to ensure the safety of the people living within the castle walls. But the barbican wasn't just a defensive structure. It also served as a symbol of the castle's power and importance. Its imposing presence at the entrance served to intimidate any potential enemies and remind them of the strength of the castle they were about to enter. Number 9. Murder holes. Ever wondered what those mysterious holes in castle walls are all about? Well, they're called murder holes, and they served a pretty grim purpose. These openings were strategically placed in the top of castle walls, allowing defenders to drop boiling oil, hot sand, or even live animals on the heads of those trying to scale the wall. Talk about a nasty surprise, but the murder holes didn't just serve as a way to defend the castle. They also helped to collect rainwater, which could then be used for various purposes within the castle. This made them a practical and efficient solution for the engineers who designed them. So next time you look up at an old castle wall, be sure to keep an eye out for those mysterious openings, just in case. Number 10. Portcullis. Ever wondered what that big metal thing is at the bottom of a castle gate? Well, it's called a portcullis, and it served an important purpose. Basically, it's a large grating that could be raised or lowered, providing an additional layer of defense to the castle gate. When the portcullis was lowered, it blocked the entrance to the castle, preventing anyone from entering or leaving. This made it very difficult for attackers to storm the castle, as they would have to break through the portcullis first. But the portcullis wasn't just a static structure. It could also be raised and lowered as needed, giving the defenders flexibility in their approach to defense. This made it an essential part of the castle's security system and helped to protect the people and resources inside. Thanks for joining us on this journey through time. We hope you learned something new and exciting about medieval castles. Don't forget to hit that like button if you love all things history. We've got plenty more videos to explore. See you next time.